Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on AUD and ZD? Now, if we look at the market from a monthly perspective, what we can see is that clearly the market has approached a strong monthly resistance. In fact, what the market did is, after creating this move to the downside, created a high, created a lower low and unequal high. Now, if the market does something like this, create a lower low and then unequal high, what do you expect? You expect the market to make a move to the downside before the continuation higher to create the inverted head and shoulder. So overall, what you expect is a wave to the downside. Now, if you check at also where the market rejected to the upside, you can see that this was an extremely and is an extremely strong structure support. It preceded all this move to the upside, acted again as strong support here, and obviously here preceding the very strong impulse that the market just created. Let's go down on the weekly and see what kind of situation we can see from the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly, it appears very clearly that the market is trapped inside of a weekly resistance and a weekly support. In fact, we have very strong resistance at this area on the weekly, and we have very strong support at this area as well from a weekly perspective. Now, why is this resistance and why is this support? Now, in this move to the upside, the market rejected exactly here. And in fact, this area is a previous resistance, which is now turned support. And after breaking the zone to the upside, the market stopped here and basically went higher. And after doing this, what the market actually created is a support level here, which is now resistance. And in fact, if we zoom in, we can see that with this last weekly candle, the market rejected this resistance and rejected this support, meaning that currently the market is trapped from a weekly perspective inside of this channel. Let's go down on the daily and see what kind of situation we have on the daily. Now, on the daily, this situation is even more clear. We have strong structure here and we have strong structure support here. Now, before I will show you how we can be approaching this situation and how we will be approaching this situation with students, let's go and see what kind of point of view we can get from checking the COT data, so the commitment of traders. What big banks and institutions are currently doing on the AUD and what they're currently doing on the NZD. Now, from an AUD perspective, we can see that currently we are sitting at minus 6K net positions, which is the highest level that we had for a long time. In fact, we were sitting here at minus 54K net positions. So a lot of longs have been added. Currently, we're sitting at 31K. Sorry, a lot of shorts have been closed. In fact, longs, we're sitting at 31K with 38K shorts, meaning that the shorts have been aggressively closed. If we look at the longs, not really much change, but if we look at the shorts, look, we went from 116K all the way down to 38K. So a lot of shorts have been closed. And in fact, AUD has been pretty aggressively moving to the upside. Now, if we check what we have from in NZD perspective, what we can see. Now, if we check the NZD, we can see that clearly we are currently sitting at minus 1.9K, which is as well one of the highest levels that we had in the past. In fact, we've been sitting on clearly negative for quite some time. And if we check what actually changed here, we can see that longs had first been decreased, but now they increased again, and we're currently sitting with 14K longs. And if we check the shorts, we went from 36K all the way down to 16K. So shorts kind of cut in half. So overall, what we have to be looking at on AUD and ZD. Now, both these currencies are pretty strong at the moment, and that is why the market is bounded inside of these two levels, because both are quite strong. So strong against strong, obviously you will have confusing price action. So first we need to see some clear break either to the upside or to the downside before we can be looking for any potential trading opportunity. Now, the best thing that could happen is to see actually the market break to the downside for a deeper retracement before the continuation to the downside. But also a break higher is obviously possible because AUD is so strong, and overall from the monthly, as we have seen earlier, we have already rejected an incredibly strong structure area. Now, how we will be approaching this? Now, if the market will break with a strong impulse to the upside, then on the retracement back to the structure, this previous resistance will be turned support at this area. We will also have the confluence of the Fibonacci taken from the low to the high of the impulse, possibly 50% or 0.618. And we will be monitoring price action inside of this area with students, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the upside. On the other side, if the market will break this structure to the downside, then on the retracement back inside of the area, what we will be doing is monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of the zone, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And if the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short as well with a good probability and good risk to reward for the move to the downside and the retracement, so the wave to the downside that we wanted to see from a daily perspective. Now, the trade to the downside would be a higher probability trade, but anyway, we have to see where the market will actually break. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next.